Hey folks, David Ross here. In this video I'm going to be sharing with you 5 essential tools that I use for building guitar effects pedals. In addition to being a full-time guitar repairman here in Binghamton, New York, I've been building guitar pedals since 2016 and began launching my own line of guitar pedals in 2021. Since that time, I've discovered a lot of what works and what doesn't work when it comes to building guitar pedals. My hope is that this video will not just tell you what to buy, but inform you of why to buy it, especially for those of you who have just gotten started, or those of you who have been at it for a while but are finding things difficult. I'm hoping to shed some light on some issues that I've had in the past so that you can avoid the mistakes that I've made. So if that sounds good to you, stick around and let's get into it. Number 1 is a soldering iron. And I don't mean just any soldering iron, I mean one that's of a good quality, and one preferably with a variable temperature range. The reason why is because you want something that's powerful enough to be able to handle what you throw at it, which means that the $20 soldering iron at the local hardware store likely isn't up to the task to really get the solder to flow well. Additionally, having a variable temperature range can be useful when soldering to the back of a potentiometer, for example, where an increase in heat and temperature can really make things a lot easier for you. The iron that I'm using is this Elenco 9SL30A. I've had it for nearly 10 years and it's never let me down. Stuart McDonald currently sells the Solomon SL-30, which looks extremely similar, and I'm sure it's a good unit. My guess is that they're made in the same factory overseas but given different branding, which seems to be very common for tools of all varieties. There are some other good brands out there that I'm less familiar with, but the important point is to get something that's of quality. This leads us into number 2, solder. The brand of solder that I use is Kester, and you can buy it in 1-pound rolls for about $50 or so as of the release of this video. And you may be thinking to yourself, well, I'm not sure if I want to spend that much money, or I'm not sure if I'm ever going to use that much. The reason why you should get something like this is because working with low-quality solder on guitar pedals is a nightmare. The solder doesn't flow well, it just kind of bunches up in chunks on components, and it will cause frustration which will lead you to want to give up. Building guitar pedals is difficult enough as it is, and so you want to make things easier on yourself, even if it means spending a little bit more money. Buying the mystery solder that you could find online for cheaper is not always the bargain that it seems to be. Number 3, solder wick. Solder wick is especially useful for removing components that you installed accidentally, which happens to everyone. For many years I was dismissive of it because I tried it once or twice and it didn't work, and so I just kind of gave up on it. What I didn't realize is that much like solder itself, solder wick is not all made the same. I tried it again more recently and bought something that was of good quality, which in my case was Tech Spray number 4, and when I used it, the light bulb went off in my head and I said to myself, oh, this is how it's supposed to work. This leads us into number 4, solder sucker. I've used one of these for many years as my main way of removing solder, and in conjunction with solder wick, it's a great way to clean up any mistakes that you may make. This is actually an area where you can spend a small amount of money and get something that works well. I bought mine many years ago for maybe $10, and the only thing I've had to do from time to time is replace the tips, and also clean out the debris and occasionally lubricate the insides. Without occasional maintenance, I found that these tend to lose their ability to pick up solder, and so that's something you will need to keep in mind. But this is a very useful tool, and if you don't have one already, I would suggest getting one. Number 5, fume extraction. In addition to safety glasses, which you must wear if you're going to be doing this type of work, fume extraction is probably the most important tool that you can get because it's directly related to your own health and safety. You really will want to do something about getting the fumes out of your workspace, whether it's opening up all of the windows, having a fan blow air outside, using a small benchtop fume extractor or a floor model. Whatever you can do to get the fumes out of your workspace is to your benefit. Using proper safety equipment when building guitar pedals or doing any serious type of work is vital, so definitely don't take it for granted. Anyway, that's it for now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks.